Friends, let's talk about how we can make your Instagram grid perfect. But small caveat, I don't believe that there is any notion of perfection. I just think that there is your version of perfection and ways that we can make your feed and my feed and all of our feeds prettier. So in order for us to make our feed prettier on Instagram, I'm gonna make this as easy as possible and break this down into 3 steps that you can start applying today. And the key to remember is how you place your photos on your feed. Now, as you're placing your photos on your feed, I want you to think of 3 considerations. Number 1 is light, number 2 is color, and number 3 is space. So let's break those down a little bit more. Numero uno, light. When you look at a feed, it's always so appealing to ensure that the light is somewhat similar. Now, there's no such thing as having the light being the same in every single photo, because sometimes you take photos in the morning, afternoon, at night, indoors, outdoors. A lot of things change that, but you can get them much closer to each other by using 2 simple features within Instagram or any photo editing app, and that is number 1, exposure, and number 2, the shadows. This is how you can create consistency within your photos, even though they were taken at different times of the day and indoor or outdoor. So I chose this photo because I can show you with just a small amount of changes what we can do. Now, nothing is wrong with this photo, but it's just not as bright as I like to normally have on my feed. So on Instagram, you can use the filters that they've provided. You can also download a variety of different filters too. But for the sake of this, I'm going to just use the normal photo to start, and then I'm going to edit it. And I'm gonna focus on 2 main things. I wanna brighten the photo so that it matches the other photos in my grid, and I'm gonna raise it up. And now you could just see that this is the before and that's the after. Before, after. One quick change all of a sudden kind of got the photo back closer to what it's gonna look like on my feed. And one other tiny modification that you can focus on is the shadows. Now, shadows are the darker part of this photo, but since this photo doesn't have too dark of space, what I'm actually going to be lifting is the wider parts and the black parts simultaneously. So now what we're looking at is before, we'll click done. This is before, after, before, after. So those 2 small changes. Now that I've gotten it to the lighting that I like, let's click back on the filter. So now that I got the lighting back to where I want it, let's click on the filter and let's choose a filter. Let's just say, hypothetically, I wanna use Ludwig. Now, I don't have to use an Instagram filter, I can use something else, but what I really like is I can click on Ludwig and I can change what they call the opacity. I don't have to use it at 100% because sometimes it's a bit extra. So hypothetically, if I use Ludwig, this is the before and that's the after. So just a couple small changes, and now what we've done is we've elevated the edit to the photo. Another way to create consistency as you use light, this consideration when you're building out your feed, is that if you use natural light, it's just easier to make your photos look similar to each other. That's like a big suggestion of mine. I try to shoot all my photos in natural light, let's be real. But if for some reason you're like, Jasmine, I'm at a concert, Taylor Swift, Drake, Lauryn Hill, shout outs, and you're like, I have to share this photo. Live your best life. Post the photo, but be really considerate with the photo that you post right after it, that it's not really, really, really bright. So if you're at a dark concert that's indoors, the next photo should somewhat be a mid-range photo. It shouldn't be you in the middle of the beach where it's nice and bright, because visually, as you look at it, that dark photo seems to stick out like a sore thumb on your feed. You can post darker photos, but just make sure you blend the colors. I'm gonna show you what I mean in a second. Now, if you noticed, I wanted to make sure that these 2 photos offset each other because this was a black and white. I don't normally use a lot of black and white photos, but in this case I did, and I wanted to make sure that this back here is a black background that offsets the blacks and a tiny bit of black here. Now, if you notice, I've broken up my grid with what I call special considerations, in that if somebody's looking at my grid like a magazine, I don't want it to always just be photos of me, because I am not that interesting, but perhaps the life that I have. One could be interesting. The second thing you want to take into consideration, it would be light and then color. When it comes to color, the thing you want to take into consideration is as you place your photos next to each other, would be to choose photos and colors that are complementary. And you want to avoid colors that are not complementary. So hypothetically, a light pink photo doesn't look all that great next to a bright red photo. Now, if you're like, Jasmine, I don't know what colors look good next to each other, go to Google and type in color wheel. This color wheel is actually going to show you what colors complement. Now, you don't have to keep it perfect, and there are some people who do color stories on Instagram. I have tried to do a color story, and let me just tell you, it is so hard. It is so hard. So a color story is combining anywhere from 6 to 9 photos with all very distinct colors. So they really focus on blue for 6 to 9 photos, or they really focus on purple for 6 to 9 photos. It makes your feed look beautiful, like a museum, but I don't have time, the energy, the wherewithal, and I say this as a professional photographer. So if you can do it, then awesome. But if you're kind of just like me and you're like, I don't want to make it look really bad, I just kind of want to have like a singular color ideology to it, kind of vibey, use the color wheel. I'm gonna pop it in right about here. Now, I'm gonna be focusing now on similar colors. I've noticed that I have a lot of white space, and that's gonna help make my grid a little bit breathable. Now, there's other special things that I wanted to pay particular close attention to, is that I like to make sure that the eye, when they're looking at the grid, can find matching and corresponding colors within anywhere from a 6 to 9 square grid. So here, the colors match here, and here, the colors match here. And so what I want to make sure, and that I'm doing, is that it's at least blending our colors and finding continuity. I should probably take a little bit of a timeout. If you're at this point in the video and you're like, I kind of sort of got the light thing, Jasmine, but this color thing is throwing me for a loop. That's okay. If you're just trying to start cleaning up your feed, the first place I always suggest is create continuous light. Once you do that, once you kind of work on that for a couple weeks, come back, rewatch this video right about here. Because when I look at my Instagram feed, I want it to breathe. A lot of times, people look at an Instagram feed and they don't know what's wrong with it, or they don't know why it's not like aesthetically pleasing to them. And at the end of the day, it's because there's a bunch of really crowded photos all next to each other. And in my mind, I like to mix. If I have an up close photo, the following photo, I want it to be at mid-range or even far. I like what I call negative space in a photo. Negative space could be perhaps you at a coffee shop and there's a coffee cup and maybe your phone and a magazine. But then you leave a lot of space on the actual on the desk or on the table itself, so that when a viewer goes through it, they're like, oh, it doesn't take up all of the frame. So let's kind of riff a little bit. I am a professional photographer. I'm gonna talk to you about 2 spatial rules that kind of rule the world in photography. The first one is rule of thirds. That means if you take a photo, a regular photo, and you break it up into 3 sections, the rule of third means that your subject, the coffee cup, your dog, your boyfriend in France, should be in one of the 3 sections. Now, the most visually appealing photos are when the subject is in the first third or the last third. A very classic photo would be somebody right in the middle. That's fine, that's beautiful. But hey, we're talking about up-leveling our Instagram feeds. If then that is the case, visually interesting, you want to put your subject in the first third or the second third. Keep that in the back of your mind. One thing I want to note is I also mentioned how I want to break up. So in this photo, I am comprising about 2/3 of the photo. That's a closer photo. But in this photo, we have what I call a lot of negative space right in this area. It allows the grid to breathe. And here, the rule of thirds. I have my feet in the first third, I have the photos in the second third, in this nice negative space of area, so that on the grid, it looks like it's breathable. Okay, so now that we got down actually into the specifics, I'm just gonna turn off my phone, I'll put it down, I'm gonna be real with you. You probably are watching this video because you want your Instagram grid to look a certain way. And I want that for you too, but I'm gonna be real with you. Number 1, there is no such thing as a perfect Instagram grid. And number 2, I want you to take a step back, and I want you to know that there is no greater thing that you could do with your Instagram account than to talk and serve the people that are on your Instagram account. I want you to flip the script. I want you to say, I am here to talk to connect with, and serve my current followers, and make sure that the photos that they're seeing are driven by value and the benefits for them. So yeah, I totally want your grid. I want your feed to look good, but not at the cost of you thinking that the real value is coming from there. The real value is coming to people, it's coming for people who are already there for you, wanting to see the things that you post. So my friends, focus on the photo, focus on the copy, focus on the light and the color and the space. But don't forget, the good stuff comes from here, and people will connect with that.